on their roster.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent.
Well done. You're talking into the microphone. That is what it's intended for.
Great, great. Just making sure everything works.
Good.
It's because the volume here is different, so it throws me off.
That's okay. You're going to be just fine. I am very excited for one thing that nobody mentioned, and I am disgusted with the entire panel, and that includes you since you were part of the panel. Z-Freak will be playing his best hero ever, Mirana, and it's the anime Mirana, making it even better.
Yeah, but...
By the way, look. Sorry, not to interrupt, but look at his portrait at the top
right,
of Mirana. She's looking the wrong direction. It looks weird.
That is actually so annoying. Holy... Wait, has that always been that way?
Everybody else is looking right.
Is Cinder some kind of sociopath? Why is the wire like this?
He's weird.
Wait, why is it like this?
He's into wires. What can I say?
Okay.
He really likes that show.
So, Sunsan, I'm sorry in advance that you have to deal with me again.
It's okay. It's
we all have to be in places we don't like sometimes.
Yeah, that is true.
True.
Z-Freak, okay. Looks like Arteezy will not get that bounty room. But yeah, talk to me about the lineups. I mean, 4Zoomers are definitely the underdog going into this, but I think Cinder talked about it a bit. EG have looked, well, it was just 2 games, but they looked not great yesterday.
No, they didn't. I think if there is a time for 4Zoomers to pull off an upset, it is now. You know, get them while they're weak. They did bring something new to the plate, which is just the roaming combination of Mirana and Shadow Demon. And are we seeing it at play?
Oh, yeah. There's the setup for the arrow. Abed's going to get right-click down, and first blood goes to Husky. The 4Zoomers already on the board.
I honestly really enjoy when supports get first blood, because especially if you're a hero like Shadow Demon and you have spells that you spam like Shadow Poison, that early arcane boots can make a huge difference on lane.
Yep, for sure.
But yeah, it's really cool that they're bringing back this like roaming meta.
I mean, to be fair, EG has had 4Zoomers numbers for years now, and I know that it's kind of, especially in like for Gunner, since he's been Gunner and Husky particularly have been on the roster forever, but probably in their head a bit, so feels like they need to do a little extra something at the beginning of the game, similar to like what Arkosh does every single game to the point where it becomes predictable. That's the good thing about this strat is this game it was unpredictable.
We'll see how it plays after the surprise factor is over, right? Like they already got their surprise mid-first blood, didn't get it on the Kunkka, so probably not the ideal scenario, but you know, they caught him off guard. But I think he's going to be cautious and look out for that later on.
Yeah.
Might not be so easy to catch him the same way. But generally, Mirana, as a hero, I really do miss her. She excels in lanes where she can just stand and right-click the enemies, but she is kind of not in her best when you're right-clicking a Terrorblade with such high armor and an Ogre who's just got so much HP. Right?
Yeah, that's true. So basically what you're saying is not much kill potential. I mean, I assume that they just want to leave Darkseer here at some point, right? The question is how early can he do so?
Well, there definitely can be a kill potential with Leap and Arrow and Vacuum and all of these things. Typically Darkseer's...
No, might actually just be dead. Oh, not quite in range for that last right click for Arteezy, but Jarek's going to continue on. Just needs another Fire Blast, but won't be able to close the gap.
Really great arrow by Z-Freak that actually stopped him in his tracks for the split second necessary to not get that last auto off. So
Z-Freak is the best Mirana in NA. Easy.
I believe you. You're so adamant about this.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it for years. It feels like since I haven't seen it since Complexity days. I don't understand. He's playing all these other heroes. I mean, it's a very flashy hero, obviously, so maybe over-exaggerating here a bit, but...
I mean, I feel like there are a lot of good Miranas. We just forgot that they exist. But I do remember watching Z-Freak stream once and he was just theory crafting Mirana level 3 and saying you should get Arrow level 2 because if you hit it, it's more damage than a Starfall.
That's right.
But you gotta hit the arrow, right?
I mean, that at his peak of his career, which was on Complexity, it was definitely spamming Mirana a lot. So.
We were talking about the kill potential in the bot lane, right? So Darkseer is a really good lane counter to Terrorblade just because Ion Shell is so much damage. His high armor doesn't do anything for him there. So potentially there's just the chip damage from Ion Shell into a Vacuum Arrow that really could spell a dead Terrorblade. So I wouldn't look away from that lane either.
Abed. Looks like he does a nice job of avoiding the Torrent thanks to the Electric Vortex coming out. So he's sitting at 19-6 versus Gunner's 16-4. So pretty even, slight advantage for Abed, but I'm sure that Gunner will go into the jungle and make a lot of gold that way as well.
Meanwhile, we have Nightfall actually leading the CS leaderboards right now. He's having a great time in this top lane. And we're talking about how Trolls should do well versus him, but so far they haven't been able to stop his Centaur.
Yeah, and I wonder how much... Do you think ping is more important for a Centaur or a Legion?
Oh, a Legion for sure.
I feel like maybe they're straying away for some of these heroes that maybe ping will be a bit of an issue on for Nightfall because he's playing from Mexico. I'm not sure exactly what the ping is,
what
but
is the ping?
I'm not sure. I've never lived in Mexico.
I feel like I'm Jordanian, okay? So I play with like 90 ping, and I feel like that's pretty good.
Right. Well,
it's
it'll
just
be
a matter of
sure.
getting used to it, right? If you're used to it, it's fine. I respect Saberlight because he was talking about how he doesn't even feel the ping, whereas everybody will kind of use it to complain about why they played that.
They make it to land setting, and then it's just that much better. Or it could screw you up because you're used to playing with ping, right? But they talk about how they scrim on EU a lot as well, so...
Divas, the lot of them, I say.
Yeah, no doubt. Ooh. Z-Freak takes out Arteezy. You talked about the potential... the kills in the bot lane,
yeah,
the opportunity for them.
Unfortunately, we missed it, but hey, Mirana's got 2 levels in Arrow. It's a Z-Freak classic. I'm not getting Starfall level 3. Got it done. I assume they just did some chip damage into Arrow, right? It had to be.
Yeah, so Z-Freak doing me proud. My man.
You talked him up, and he's showing up, so... Oh, Nightfall just finished his Vanguard top, dude.
Yeah.
Such a free lane for him.
Holy cow.
So this is definitely not how you want your Troll to go. You pick it so you can dominate the lane, and now that he's at this point where he has this Vanguard, Troll's not going to do much to him at all.
Right.
They're going to have to wait for this Mirana rotation top, potentially.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? Oh, Z-Freak is going to be taken out here, looks like, by Jerax.
Just
Taking
enough
down
damage?
to the Ignite. Yeah. And down he goes. What are your thoughts on Troll in this specific game as he's dying? So don't let this be a biased decision at all.
I think there are a lot of stuns. I think there are a lot of means to kite him. I think he's gonna have to like sit and farm up with his Battle Fury and just hope that his team can do enough for him in terms of setting up, right? They do have Darkseer, so they can surge him and make it less difficult for him to get kited, but I don't particularly know how I feel about it. I think to me Troll is always just kind of a meh hero. Unless the game is perfect for him, and it's not perfect for him.
Yep, I agree. A lot of kite potential with Stampede.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys talked about the X. I mean, that's single target, though. You're not really going to lock down a ton of heroes unless you get an amazing Vac wall combo, but then you just Stampede after, theoretically, so we'll see how that comes into play.
And part of snowballing on Troll is just owning your lane, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's probably the most important aspect.
And speaking of, a kill just happened, right? So we didn't catch it again, unfortunately, but there was a nice 3-man smoke happening with the roaming combo and the Kunkka, and they came quick kill on Nightfall, and they're just all going back to their respective lanes.
All right, that's a second kill missed by our beautiful observers. You're not supposed to mention it, though, okay? Don't say we haven't seen the kill.
Oh, my bad, I'm new.
Just pretend that we did see it. Like, oh, yeah, we definitely saw that one.
Okay.
And we have the replay, so technically we did see that one, right?
Sorry, I'm bad at my job, okay? I've only done this 2 times before. You think I want to be here?
I don't know. Arteezy is going to get back into the wall. Very low HP, no mana for Sunder. And that is the second death for him in just a couple minutes now. Or Zoomer's looking, well, they're looking good overall, but it does feel like this Troll is not working out so far for them. That's like the one lane that just feels like a struggle.
Yeah, but the Darkseer lane is going so well. This is just an ideal scenario. This is why you pick Darkseer against Terrorblade, so you can bully the crap out of him and then just have his illusions later on in the game. And yeah, great start for him. Not so much for the Troll, but he is building that Battle Fury, and he's going to have time to catch up, so long as his team can just make sure Terrorblade is also oppressed on the map.
Right, and they do let him take the tower. They're gracious enough to supply him with that, and he's about to hit level 6 here, so we'll see how he ends up catching up. But I mean, having said all that, he's still top 3 net worth thanks to that tower being given to him.
And keep in mind, he's going to have a lot of farming tools because that bottom tower is open so early on. He's just got so much more of the map than Terrorblade has. We saw yesterday that...
Let's see. Oh, Hoof Stomp is going to miss here for Nightfall. Moo does a nice job of avoiding it. He's going to get zipped on, though, by Abed. Arrow comes in, connects onto Abed, into the Vac, and they're going to find that kill onto Storm Spirit. Z-Freak owning it up here. That's 2 kills, and Moo somehow lives throughout all of that. And now Nightfall getting X back into the fray in a 4 versus 1. So 4 Zoomers really showing out here. I assume Nightfall dies here, but we'll have to wait and see. 4 stacks of Shadow Poison, make it 5, and Husky gets credit for that one.
Very cool. 5 stacks of Shadow Poison is actually so much damage. But hey, you talked up Z-Freak and he's delivering.
I don't know why they just don't pick him Mirana every single game. Like, what is the enemy going to do?
You don't have a Shadow Demon and a Kunkka.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of the arrows have not been set up for him. He's
That's
just
very
good.
true.
Okay?
He is good. Well done. Well done. Yeah, so this is really great news for the troll because not only is this team owning the rest of them, he's just got this entire bottom half of the map to farm.
Caster Curse, as Costabile is in quite a bit of trouble. Does have his ult to try to get out of it. Indeed, he uses it. But now he's forced to attack the enemy. Jerax is going to get saved thanks to the cookie, and Costabile brought down shortly after. So
Yeah, he was there for a long
I
time.
feel like he had the space, but then gets caught off guard there. And I mean, after all of this, I mean, maybe it's because they're coming in as underdogs, but EG's up 1K, and that just feels weird after what I've been seeing before this game.
Yeah, that was a great rotation. They just went on that troll. Darkseer was low HP, low mana, couldn't TP in and help. I think Mirana had her TP on cooldown. There was just nobody to save him there. So, great job, EG.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And Nightfall obviously has the Hood and Vanguard that we saw previously. We'll be going for the Blink Dagger next. No big surprise there. While Abed still quite a ways away from his Orchid, but still farming very well in the top 2.
And Synderne was talking a lot about how Orchid Kunkka could be really nice here. And I do agree with that, but Gunnar instead decides to go for Armlet, actually, as his first item.
Gunnar, I mean, he's played a lot of Kunkka this DPC season, and his build, it seems like it changes it quite a bit, because we saw the Orchid, we've seen the Echo Saber into the Orchid, we've seen a lot of weird things. But yeah, you're right, it will be the Armlet to get a little bit tanky here.
Yeah, but honestly, this Armlet does make sense because until Terrorblade is ready to fight, there's really not that much damage coming out unless the Mortimers is being dropped on him. But he can toggle between the Centaur and the Storm autos, right? The extra durability can go a long way, especially when they're looking to play without their carry at this stage of the game.
Abed, oh boy, finds another kill on Costabile. So still struggling to find his farm for 4 Zoomers. That leads to 2K net worth lead now for EG.
So I think it's a little bit bizarre, the support distribution for 4 Zoomers on the map right now. You had Shadow Demon playing top and just Mirana playing in the enemy jungle, but there's nobody around Troll's triangle to guard it. There isn't even any vision placed there for him.
As Jerax is going to get taken out at the Dire Outpost area.
That's a good kill. But you do need to secure this space for your Troll Warlord. He did not have the greatest start, and he is building towards the Battle Fury. That is 2 times he's been left alone on the side of the map that he should feel safe in.
But yeah, looking at the net worth, still top 3 are EG, all cores. Feels like they're having a relatively free game, and Nightfall is still closing in on that Blink Dagger, not too far away.
Yeah, and this is where I see Terrorblade's farm speed in action. Even though he died a couple of times on that bot lane, he doesn't care.
And
He's got his building his Yasha going BKB next, actually, so they're going to look to fight early on, too.
yeah, it looks like it. Yep, that'll align nicely for them as... I mean, that's the thing when you're playing against a troll, that you've already seen that he has a Perseverance, so you know for a fact that he's going for the farm-heavy Battle Fury build. So if you're able to get that BKB shortly after his Battle Fury, then like he's not going to be able to do a whole lot in terms of fight potential.
And you still have Storm and Snapfire playing around the bot lane, just making sure that Troll does not have the space for himself to farm. So I just really like how they made sure that even though he had a good potential to maximize his farm, they just wouldn't give it to him.
Oh, Abed.
Nice TP out.
Yeah, Moonlight Shadow's not going to be enough for Gunnar to find anybody. And looks like they did not use their scan, but didn't need to, obviously, as he's already gone. So there's the Blink Dagger. We'll see how fast they want to fight. Do they wait for the BKB on Arteezy? Because he's just going to be starting it now, as I believe the Yasha's on its way.
I think they're going to look to take their first big team fight with this BKB, like their first big smoke. But they can play for these little picks that they've been doing so far. They really don't need their Terrorblade to find a hero off guard somewhere.
It looks like Nightfall's going to TP and likely connect with his team to smoke, and he does just that. By far the best Nightfall game I have seen on EG, and that's really not saying much because he hasn't really played that.
He's going to get caught on
games.
vision here, though, Mirana.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it is position 4, so they maybe don't even want to focus him. This Gunner's going to be the one that they drop in on. There's the hoof stomp. There's the double edge. Nightfall gets credit for that. As you see, Gunner. I love these player cams.
Is under attack.
Just the instant reaction, a.k.a. dead inside.
I mean, that's a really great kill for them. That's what they're looking for. They can just run around as a 3-man unit and keep doing things like that over and over again. The one upside is that Z-Freak did manage to get off this really aggressive ward on the safe lane just to scout out any potential rotation. So they did get that ward off of that kill, or off of that one Gunner death. So, you know, at least they have that silver lining and whatnot.
All right, what item do you want to... Let's have some theory crafting. So I don't get to see my boy Centaur. Oh, man, he's already queuing up something. Don't click on him. Don't click on Centaur.
Oh, okay.
What should he build?
Why can I not click on him?
Because he already has it queued.
Are you they just clicked on him. It's the halberd. I'm sorry.
Observers failed us again.
He ruined the game.
Yeah, halberd's going to be really good. I mean,
No,
Troll...
just kidding,
would be
we love you.
super annoyed with that. Yes, don't watch the game. Sit in the corner. Look at the wall.
No, we're kidding. Come back. No, the halberd is a really great item. You just need more of a means to kite the troll. It's going to be good against Kunkka. It's going to be good against troll. It's going to give him that extra durability, evasion.
Nightfall gets caught out. He's so tanky. I don't even know if they want to expend resources here. He's going to pop the Stampede into the hoof stomp and into Mortimer's kisses, as well as Moo gets killed off invisibly.
Beautiful, getting that last Mortimer on the surged unit. What do you call the individual little attacks?
It's a kiss.
They got the last kiss?
Yeah.
Cool. Are you sure?
If you get hit by all of them, it's called making out with them. But you have to hit like all 12 of them.
No, it's not.
Mortimer makes out with them, as looks like Z-Freak is going to go into the grave, but Arteez is in a bit of trouble looking for the Sunder target, but it's not going to find it. Wild axe, or the axes are enough for Costa Bile. There's no Beastmaster in this game.
That's unfortunate. He almost finished off that mid tower. He probably felt a lot safer there than he actually was, just because his team was causing some chaos in the triangle, chasing down that Mirana. A little bit of a misstep, but I can understand why he felt safe.
Yeah, it feels like EG, one of those teams where if the game is going, as we're going to hold that thought, didn't really last too long. Husky gets insta-killed there. Feels like if things are even relatively even, they're going to be winning the war of attrition, so to speak. Like, in terms of just farm efficiency, just because they're so individually skilled, that usually against most teams, they'll just build these leads slowly over time.
Absolutely, and that's honestly the difference in experience. We can see just those early on couple of troll deaths, not having that area secured for him is not something that happened to Terrorblade in this game, even though they both had a similar start. But now that Avid has his Orchid finished and Crit has his Solar Crest finished, these two heroes can just run around together and blow anyone up.
Yeah. Followed by the Hoof Stomp double edge for Nightfall. Down goes Z-Freak. That cost a couple TPs from 4 Zoomers, as we see the wall being used, but it's only on a support Snapfire. That's a lot of resources expended here, and Crit might not even die. He's attempting to TP out, does get taken out in the end, so 1 for 1. Now we have the Disruption, but Abed just waiting on the back line. Nightfall, again, pretty much unkillable right now, it feels like. At least it'll take a while. Gets the Hoof Stomp off into the double edge again. Abed jumps in, looking for the kill on top of the Stampede. Gunner is donezo. The second double edge of that fight. Nightfall is an absolute beast. I mean, he's still out farming the Terrorblade Arteezy.
Yeah, they played a really great laning phase, and we can just see how that resulted to this Suntor snowball, right? It really feels like they're just playing on 3 heroes right now. Snapfire, Suntor, and Storm. They're just running around with these 3 and occupying almost all 5 of 4 Zoomers. Terrorblade's just been farming away so happily this entire time.
Yeah, and the fact that they've like ramped up this aggression with the Battle Fury build on Costa Bile. Obviously, we'll be going for BKB next, but still a decent away from actually finishing it.
And so is Kunkka. They're not close enough to their BKBs to the point where they're going to feel safe. This threat of Snapfire and Storm is still going to be prevalent for the next 3 minutes of the game.
And EG has mounted a 7K net. I mean, they've looked... Obviously, 4 Zoomers, like we've talked about, are the underdogs of this regional finals for the NA/DPC. But based on how EG was playing yesterday, I would say this is a definite improvement. And maybe some of it has to do with picking Nightfall a hero that doesn't require, you know, the best reaction time necessarily.
I think you're too hyper.
I'm very focused
on this ping thing, because I think yesterday their drops were just really hard to pull off. This one is a lot simpler in concept.
Yeah, that's true.
So they've got the Aegis up on Storm, which is a really good decision in my opinion. You're not really going to put your Terrorblade in the line of danger, especially with the Centaur here. But he's got his BKB ready. They can just take whatever fight they feel like.
I mean, their win rate with Nightfall is not good. So just picking a lineup that has the easier execution makes a lot of sense. Although they've been scrimming a lot, obviously. It's Costabile surrounded again. Here comes the boat, though. It's very nicely placed, and there's a nice disruption to save Costabile in the end. He's going to be able to walk away. So good job from 4Zoomers preventing another death on Costabile, who is their top net worth, who's top 3 overall.
And they still have a wall ready on Darkseer, and they drew a line on the map to maybe try to get some kind of surprise. It looks like they might try to look to just trade this bottom tower for whatever play EG may make.
Yeah. Looks like Mr. Z-Freak is done. Orchid, pretty ownage against him. He's actually going for Spirit Vessel, so not going to be able to itemize for something like a Lotus Orb to prevent something like that from happening.
And they do need the Spirit Vessel on paper because the Centaur is ridiculously tanky, and because it's percentage-based damage versus someone with such high HP, it'll be pretty good. But still, it's not enough. They don't really have the means to take out the Centaur. He's just going to be a wall between them and the rest of his team for most of this game, until Troll gets to a point where he's 5 or 6 slotted, or Darkseer's like dropping walls on the Terrorblade and hitting the Centaur with TV illusions.
Right. Yeah, between Soulcatcher and Spirit Vessel, they'll have a chance to kill Centaur, but I mean, they're still down by quite a bit of net worth, in addition to the Aegis still being online for Abed. As we see the Mortimer's Kisses come into fruition with Abed helping get the kill on Mr. Moo. Abed still with that Aegis, so he doesn't really mind dying here. Costabile is going to pop that ult and take out Snapfire in quick succession. Good. Boat timing actually does connect onto Abed. This would be a huge kill for 4Zoomers, followed by the cookie. Nicely done. Well executed from 4Zoomers, as the rest of EG thinking about retreating here. Still have the Stampede to work with for Nightfall.
Really beautiful chain stunning there. The boat into the arrow, into the torrent. Well done. That's honestly what they needed here. They got rid of the Aegis threat as well, which is more important. And now they can close out their BKBs on Kunkka and Troll with this 20 seconds on Storm dead.
Yeah, that definitely buys them some time.
How close are they? So Troll is only 100 gold away, and Kunkka just needs around 800 more gold.
Yeah, I got hit by so many taunts.
Would you wait? So, do you actually call it the individual Mortimers?
Are we still having this?
I'm just curious.
What do you mean? Like,
because I was thinking about it. You just said, I don't know. It sounds weird.
Mortimer's Kisses?
No, like the individual ones. You said they're called kisses, and if you got hit by each one.
Yeah, is Mortimer a male or a female? I don't even know.
Mortimer is a guy, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know what Mortimer is, though.
He's a lizard creature. Is Nightfall. Right, not going to go. Oh, Arteezy pops the BKB a little bit prematurely, but this should be enough to take out Moo at the very least. But a nice save from the Shadow Demon, as Moo will eventually get taken out, but does place the wall down. So EG have to kind of retreat here. The Sunder onto an illusion just to try to stay alive, but the X marks back into the damage area. Arteezy kind of stuck on a cliff. I mean, he put himself here, I suppose. And he's going to get taken out eventually by Gunner. So wrong place, wrong time for him. A nice hoof stomp into the follow-up by Abed. They're going to try to go for Costabile before he can get anything off. Another great save from Husky, though. The disruptions have been on point, but Costabile still dies as Abed getting chased out. Looks like he'll get away safely.
So they do trade 2 for 2 here. I would say that it is better for Zoomers to trade 2 for 2, though.
Might be more. Arrow connects as well. So Gunner and company able to mount a bit of a comeback here.
Now it's definitely better for Zoomers. Really well played by Moo to drop that wall before he died, because that wall was the reason why Terrorblade was able to just be taken down in the first place. He had his Manta open, so not only did he have the illusion of himself, he also had the illusion of his Manta style hitting him, and it was just way too much damage. They X'd him back and he really couldn't get away.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Obviously, a bit sad that Costa Bile wasn't able to be there for any of the XP, but he does have the Battle Fear to try to catch up, and he's not that far behind. I mean, Arteezy's still a decent way in terms of net worth right now, but
You take what you can
catch
get.
up.
Honestly, Darkseer is so frustrating to play against as a Terrorblade for what we just saw. They do have to address it by doing what they did last fight, which is just go on him first, but because of these defensive disruptions by Husky, it's going to be so difficult to actually burst this target before he gets the spells off. And there really is no secondary jump for the Shadow Demon either. You have to commit on one target together because, yes, they do have the blink on Centaur, but he isn't a high DPS hero.
Very burst heavy, for sure. I'm not sure if Costa Bile had I think he had his BKB on the courier and then it died before it got to him. So that might be the reason that he was actually caught off there.
That is
Very
actually
unfortunate. He's still waiting for it to revive.
That's very tragic. He's going Bash next too, so if he gets on top of the Storm, they should be able to stun lock him even more. And if he gets on top of this Terrorblade, it could spell death, right? He's not even close to something like an evasion item versus a Stroll yet.
But if you do get that Halberd off before the BKB from Nightfall, then it's going to mitigate a ton of damage potentially. Tier 1 tower going to be given up for Zoomers. Back to within 3k deficit here. They have definitely brought this back. It was starting to look a little bit glum. Glum? Is that a word? Grim?
Grim?
Grim. Wait, is glum? Glum is a word, though. That's not the right usage, though.
Gloomy?
Gloom? All
I
right.
think glum is a word.
Okay.
I think it might be. It's the way you said it was very convincing.
I was convinced, but I've been here before, and usually doesn't end well.
I think glum is a word, actually.
Okay, we'll look it up later.
I mean, I'm 90% sure it's a word. I would have told you yes, it's a word until you made me second guess myself.
Thank you.
You know what? I'm gonna go with 95% sure.
95%. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Very glum of you to not believe me.
Appreciate that. 4 Zoomers now smoked up, and they have the Moonlight Shadow off. It's actually on cooldown right now, so can't combine that.
EG are aware of the smoke though because Jarek's drew it on the map. He's just gonna put himself in position to get caught first, I believe. Alright.
Courier for Nightfall dies, though.
Break
They
the smoke,
know they're here.
Jerax. Break the smoke, Jerax.
He's going to. He's a very tanky boy on that Ogre Magi. Costa Bile just going to have to farm, and they know that the jig is up, essentially.
Yeah. Great read by him. That's his experience coming into play.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's gonna
Might still be caught here after all of
he's
this.
gonna lure them.
You can see he's really sweating it up as Gunner will find the X, so the cancellation of the TP. And Jerax finally taken out.
Okay, he wasted a lot of time, and because of this entire chase, EG repositioned themselves from dire jungle all the way back down to their side of the map.
All right, Nightfall gets caught off. There's the X into the arrow. Soul Catcher to follow. Another percentage-based damage, if you want to think of it that way. So I'm actually a little surprised he's going for Heart as a result of having that percentage-based damage, but we'll see how that works out.
I agree. I feel like if you are gonna go for this Reaver, you do want an overwhelming blink just for that extra damage output with the Storm.
Normal punch from Moo. Arteezy's going to pop that BKB, though, as Abed trying to kill off the backline, but it looks like Husky's going to live, at least for now. The Moonlight Shadow keeping cover. Husky barely lives. Actually got zipped on invisibly. But 4 Zoomers able to walk away with the Centaur kill.
Nice little freebie on the Centaur, but they couldn't really make anything out of it here. Roshan should be spawning very soon. 28 seconds.
I feel like, not to harp on this build because Nightfall's a very good player, but I feel like Ags is really good on Centaur this game. Gives you that extra second, the damage mitigation. It just feels like it covers a lot of bases. And if you're going to have any trouble, a lot of single target as well from like the X marks into bow, you just live throughout all that.
I quite like Ags as well. He might even change what he has queued up just based on how the next fight goes too. A lot of players just do it by reading what feels right. And
Yeah, if you're like stomping, then it kind of feels bad to get a defensive item, I guess. But we'll see. But for 4 Zoomers, Moo, he's looking good. He's got the Blink, Mech, Aghanim Scepter, as we're going to hear the Stampede go off with the Mortimer's Kisses from very low range. But Moo, as I talk him up, he dies immediately. Abed's going to pop the BKB, zip away. So Gunnar not able to get his combo off. And now the rest of 4 Zoomers on the run. Hoof Stomp gets Husky in the trees. But Costabile able to pop his magic immunity in, TPing away to his base.
Straight into Roche.
Indeed.
And Darkseer doesn't have buyback, so this should just be a freebie. This is the best way that Evil Geniuses can take a fight. If you can kill this Darkseer before he gets his spells off, then Terrorblade has free reign in these fights. Just go crazy.
Who gets the shard? I actually don't know. This is an interesting one. I don't think you ever give it to... the Demon Zeal I don't think is ever good. I would love to see Nightfall take it, and he's going to. Hell yeah. So that means the double edge is going to apply a slow. It's going to have a stacking strength gain per double edge. It's pretty cool. It's not great, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And he is going for that heart after all, so he's saying screw the percentage-based damage. I'm just going to be as big as I can anyway.
4 Zoomers. Zfrig, after such a good start, now feeling the wrath of playing Mirana with any silence in the game and not being able to itemize in time. I mean, this would have been a... I mean, Yule's defensively is great, but... And offensively with, I suppose, the arrow and Kunkka, theoretically good, but...
So, Mirana's really strong when you have something to do in a fight outside of just throwing arrows, right? And if your early mid-game goes well enough where you can buy, like, extra kite items, a Yule's, a Force Staff, maybe even a Greaves, you can find yourself being really disruptive in the fights. But because he had to go Vessel this game, the most use that he has is just his team catching out a hero and just placing that Vessel, throwing the arrow, and just hoping that he doesn't die. And also, just because of how tanky the Radiant heroes are, you don't really even have that typical Starfall contribution. It's not going to do that much, really. What's he going to do? Starfall, like, bajillion HP Centaur?
Yeah.
How much HP does Centaur have, actually?
I'm going to say 4K.
It is 4K.
Thank you. I know my Centaur. That's the one hero. Hey, I was number 6 in the world for one day when Stampede stunned. How many Terrorblade illusions have been fed away so far?
How are you number 6 in the world? Did you check Dota buff or something?
Yeah, Dota buff, of course.
The number 6 Centaur player in the world.
Yeah.
How many Centaur games do you have played?
Well, not anymore. I
Well,
said for
when was
one
this?
day.
Like 1994?
No, I mean, not too far off, I guess. All right, how many illusions have been killed off from Arteezy's Terrorblade? Do you have a guess?
How many illusions have been killed off?
Yeah, like his own illusions. How many of these fed away?
13.
I'm gonna say 0.
Okay.
Let's see who's close. All right, 30. All right, that's close. I was only 30 off.
Did I say 13? I meant 30. I just mispronounced
Yeah,
it.
it's okay. I'll give you credit for that. I mean, you would have won anyway, so.
Wait, do they mean killed off by somebody killed it, or?
Yeah, somebody killed it. That 700 gold overall for 4 Zoomers. We're now down by 8,000, so didn't really help that much, it seems. But Scotty now online for Arteezy, and he is quite tanky indeed.
Dude, I like how Snapfire can just little shredder the building from far away, give the armor reduction, and you have this TV illusion actually doing quite a bit of damage to this tower.
Yeah, that's half HP already. It's
very low committal.
A 10-man smoke as Gunner's going to get run on by Abed. There's the X marks on Nightfall. Maybe not the target you want to go for. A nice Orchid, though, preventing this combo from coming to fruition as Stampede is popped. And into the Terrorblade we go. Terrorblade pops that meta, and Gunner and company are getting completely shredded. Although Arteezy getting bashed on by the Troll Warlord. There's the beautiful Sunder at the last moment, though. Arteezy's still completely surrounded, though. 70 seconds on the deck, but the rest of 4 Zoomers starting to fall. There's the zip-in again from Abed, trying to finish off the rest of these members of 4 Zoomers. Did get a nice kill on Arteezy. We'll see how much it's going to cost them. Husky, Shadow Demon, or applies the pressure to himself, I guess, in some ways. It's 3 for 2 now. And Abed able to clean up pretty nicely. So double kill for him. And it looks like Zfreak is next.
That Aegis was a saving grace of the fight there. But that was really well positioned by Moon initially. He understood that. What are you looking at?
He got a Dagon.
Cool.
Okay.
Who got a Dagon?
Snapfire.
Why not, right? Why not?
First time this event, 32 minutes and 57 seconds. Dagon 1. That's a weird portrait for Snapfire. What the hell is that picture?
Alright, I'll tell you why. It's because he spent so much of the game playing it with only Nightfall and Abed that he was like, who's doing our damage? I'll do our damage.
Okay.
That's
fair enough.
That's not why. He maybe just felt like it. He made some gold off of that and said, why don't I burst them? I mean, makes sense, right? Centaur doesn't do that much damage. Well, now that he has a shard and a heart,
That's true.
he's gonna rack it up. Like we saw in that really drawn out team fight, how much he was able to do.
Lots
Just by
of stacks,
staying
yeah,
alive.
for
Yeah.
sure. And
But
Nightfall's actually going BKB, so no more percentage-based damage for him.
what I was saying initially, that I forgot to even continue because I suck, is Mu was hiding in the trees because he identified that they were just going to jump him first if he ever showed vision. So he dropped that wall on Terrorblade, cast as many spells as he could, and we saw that TB illusions went ham for a while, right? But unfortunately, after the BKB and the Troll ult is over, Troll is so susceptible to dying.
Yeah, we've seen that time and time again. I mean, basically every patch that wasn't the Sniper Troll Jug patch from many years ago that everybody wants to forget, Troll has been quite inconsistent, to say the least. Not too far from Scotty, though. That's going to be a pretty nice pickup.
I mean, the later and later this game goes, this double wall by Darkseer can do so many plays, but Centaur can scale incredibly well, actually. I think it was in Division 2 Europe West where we saw, I believe it was Brame. I don't want to misread the team, but they did play carry Centaur with a Tinker, right? And they were just entirely dependent on this Tinker, and we were worried about the potential scaling of that team as Centaur, but in the late game scenario, Centaur does so much damage,
He's
is
a
way
beast.
too hard to kill.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even scoff at Nightfall's hero as the game progresses. Also, he doesn't really care about illusions of himself being cloned by Darkseer.
And we see the little Shredder with the illusions again, and gonna force out a fortification.
Nice little simple chip damage.
Arteezy with a 5k net worth lead just by himself. He is huge. What does he have now? He has a Swift Blink, and we'll be going for Satanic that will likely just, I guess, gets rid of the Yasha?
I really like this concept they have with this Swift Blink on Terrorblade with the Dagon on Snapfire. Just, if you find that pick, commit to it. Kill them really quickly, especially
Okay,
if it's the
Costa
start
Bele,
scenario.
Hoof Stomp, Cookie to follow, the Zippin as well. He's just gonna get dropped. 85 seconds with no Troll Warlord. And that is gonna be a set of racks, if not more. And of course, Nightfall can just tank up the tier 4 towers and just take those pretty freaking fast with this build of his.
This is 2 lanes at least, right?
Yeah, at least. Zippin again, Moo. He gets
Never mind.
crushed before he can get anything off. Does have buyback though, as we see a double kill from Crit. The Dagon Express train is there. Boat not able to really connect on any kind of combo. What the hell is that glare?
I think they
That's a
can-
lot of glare on that camera. Arrow. All right, BKB is forced out for Nightfall. This is going to be 2 sets of racks. They cannot go for megas, but like I said,
They can go
Nightfall
for the
can just
end
tank for
here.
throne here. Yeah, absolutely.
I think after they kind of dove deep into the base and the Troll didn't buy back, that should give them the information that they didn't have, which is he just doesn't have the gold available. But they decide to play it safe, right? Meta's about to time out, and they just don't want to give away an unnecessary lead. So perhaps it is wise to leave in this instance.
Perhaps. Man, this build is actually hilarious from Nightfall.
What are we looking at?
We're looking at an overwhelming blink soon, so everything based off of how much strength Mr. Centaur has. Double Edge does more damage thanks to the Shard.
And-
The Stampede does more damage thanks to the strength.
And a Spell Prism, so he's just going to double edge more than usual. He's going to stack up more strength.
So what's the cooldown on this?
and a non-Spell Prism.
3.3 second cooldown. 300 damage plus 160% of 283-ish strength. I can't do that math. It's a lot, though, I believe. It's quite a bit of math.
It is good math done just now.
Indeed. Oh, what is this?
Cool.
So the double-edged strength damage, of course. I take that every time.
That's why you're the number 6.
No, it was. Let's set expectations here, and it was for literally 1 day. And Stampede stunned. Okay, just think about how good that is.
I'm just curious though, like how are you this 6th best centaur for a day. Like, you don't get demoted from the leaderboards in just a day.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Did you get kicked down to like 50th place?
No, I went down to like 11, and then it just slowly went down as I started to lose, and
Okay.
people started to realize how broken the centaur was.
But it was a slow decline.
Yeah.
You made me feel like you just had your time in the sun day, that one beautiful day.
You see the disruption. It was a glorious day for sure. As Nightfall still basically unkillable. Level 24 right now. Abed trying to focus on move. This is the main target they want to go for. He gets off the wall though. Now they have to kind of reset, but the hoof stomp onto 2, but disengage for EG.
Yeah, really beautiful. Just fight away from that pesky wall and it should just be so simple.
That's 3 stacks for Nightfall. He's looking for the hoof stomp, but can't really find anything else there. I'll have to reset completely.
Yeah, there's going to be a simple entry back into the fight if they choose to wait for the wall, or they could just take the fight elsewhere. They could push this bottom tower, and maybe even go high ground, now that there's no threat of their Terrorblade killing them.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, with this kind of a lead,
High ground they go.
why not? And Moo, I'm not sure what he built. Maybe he bought back. Yeah, it must have been that because he's not even started his refresher as of yet.
Dire's bottom
And this will be mega creeps unless 4 Zoomers can mount some sort of a team fight. As the illusions are doing most of the work and 4 Zoomers not able to... I mean, they still have some illusions, I suppose, of TP. That's
They
fighting
got
them off
the
for now.
aggressive disruption by a Shadow Demon, but unfortunately it's just not enough.
Yeah. Snapfire lowering the armor. Nightfall with a beautiful initiation onto 2. Abed, I believe, has the Aghanim Scepter as well. Is they're going to find 1, and Gunnar looks to be next. Barely gets out thanks to the armlet toggling. But Costa Bile, that's the big one. And that should spell the end of game number 1 in favor of EG as Gunnar actually juking relatively well here. But runs out of room, unfortunately, for him. Double buyback, though, from 4 Zoomers. See if EG tries to stay around a little too long. But with a 30K net worth lead, it's going to be hard to lose this one.
Nah, they're chilling. They're just hanging out by the base.
Another great Electric Vortex. Double kill for Nightfall. Beast mode on Centaur. 8, 4, and 17. He ends the game with 4 stacks of double edge, and that means 8,600 health. 8,600